everyone. Welcome to Open House 2020. What a strange open house it is. I am Mrs. Cousins. I teach English 10 Advanced, and let's begin. To introduce myself a little bit, my name is Mary Ann Cousins. This is my 27th year of teaching. Gosh, I sound old. In my mind, I'm not old. I am a General McLean graduate. I stayed local and went ahead and earned my Bachelor of Arts in English from Allegheny College. Then I moved on to Mercyhurst and earned my teaching certificate in secondary English. Early on in one of my initial jobs, I was able to become a Fulbright Hays Scholar, and as part of that, I gained the access to study in Russia for a time. So moving, kind of fast forwarding more recently in my career, I did complete my master's degree in English at Gannon University. So I've been steadily moving along in my career, I guess. I am a wife and a mother of 3 children, and it doesn't feel like I have very much free time. I'm sure I do, but when I do have free time, I enjoy playing the piano. I like gardening, and again, I sound like a grandmother when I say I like vegetable gardening. I like canning and freezing. I like putting up stock, I guess, or stores in my pantry to know that I can feed my family. It's just a tie back to my mother and my grandmother. But I really enjoy travel. But let's talk about the course. This is English 111. It is a world literature approach at the 10th grade level. So if we look at the course specifically, students will explore world literature in thematic units. Those units are more than I list here, but we will study truth, fate and free will, and identity. One goal is to build the student's ability to identify themes and other literary devices used in poetry, drama, short stories, and novels. And then they are asked to apply those skills in their own writing assignments and presentations. It is a course goal to further develop writing, research, and literature skills. And all advanced courses at General McLean are designed to develop the skills necessary for college. So, to be very blunt, an accelerated student might be someone who's going into the humanities or will focus in college probably quite a bit using skills from their English class. The advanced course is taught for kids who are going to college but maybe won't become the English majors, the journalism majors, etc. There is a vocabulary element to our course. We use the Sadler-Oxford Vocabulary Workshop Level E. I teach a unit in a 5-day cycle, and we do cover all 15 units. So to be blunt, that means that I introduce on day 1, we test on day 5, wherever that falls within the week. A unit test, if you've skipped to the bottom there, you're happy to see that there is no vocabulary final, and that's because I test pretty rigorously each unit, and I don't find a need to then recreate a final. We've taken itty-bitty little bits of a final all along the way. So a unit test for vocabulary has 2 parts. Part 1 is digital, and it's a series of multiple choice, true, false, matching questions. And they cover the words, their definitions, their parts of speech, synonyms, antonyms, and contextual usage. In other words, how would that be really used in a sentence or a paragraph? But then part 2 is a timed written portion using specific words from the unit within an extended paragraph on an assigned topic. So I'll pick 5 words, and then I'll assign the topic. The topic, quite blunt, is whatever we've been reading that week. So I always try to pick the words that are most conducive to that, whatever it is what we've been reading. I'm not trying to make it more difficult, but it's a way to show growth that you can take what you've learned in your literature and apply it to vocab, or vice versa, take your vocab and apply it to your literature. Moving on to writing and research. Writing is a major focus of the class, and it's assigned in various modalities and in varying lengths. I always grade equitably between mechanics and content, and I am pretty steady in always giving a rubric when I assign the written work, so kids know what they're aiming for. So the research paper, The research paper is a component of the course's more challenging writing. So this is something that's a little bit more than what you did in 9th grade. It'll be a very specific timeline. I will baby step you through it, but you'll select a content-related research paper topic. Then on that timeline, you will conduct research on that topic and propose a thesis. Then you'll use required sources, various required sources, to strengthen that thesis in a 4-page MLA research paper. You can do it. We will do it together. Speaking and listening. So beyond reading and writing, I should be developing your speaking and listening skills. There are a few formal presentations, but I would say speaking mostly and listening mostly emerges through the Socratic seminars. These are class discussions somewhat on steroids in that in a Socratic seminar, everyone is expected to participate. No one can sit idly by. Those do result in an individualized grade for each student, and I'll explain that rubric, how I grade for a Socratic seminar, more in depth. Now, Socratic seminars are not taken lightly. They are never impromptu, and thus I'll always announce in advance when we'll be having one. So for procedures, I have found that students are most successful and our class works best when we are polite, when we are prepared, when we're prompt for class, not only in arrival, but in the deadlines expected within that class, when we're productive and when we're proactive, not reactive. So let's think about maybe you've got a dental appointment, you've got some reason that you're missing. You need to be proactive and alert that to me. I would always recommend doing that in writing, so you've got kind of a chain of communication that proves that you did that. But it doesn't hurt to tell me as well. But these things make a classroom run function well, and they make it work well in our own personal lives. These are skills we should learn, and I'm still working on, and your folks are still working on. Everyone's still working on these things. And we have bad days, but you need to reset each day and try again. So with that in mind, I would recommend we all strive for a positive outlook. And I need to work on that too sometimes. I feel overwhelmed sometimes, but we can do this. While this course is challenging, I do pride myself in my willingness to consult my students regarding reasonable deadlines. So we will set deadlines together. Those deadlines are pretty firm. Of course, there are always extenuating circumstances, but it's a structured class. Take comfort in that structure. Don't be daunted by it. Grades for this course will be calculated by the total earned points divided by the total available points. And then we basically take the 2 percentages from the 2 quarters, the T1, T2, and divide by 2, and that's your F1. Or T3 and T4 and divide by 2, and that's your F1. So grades, you know the grading scale. 90 is the lowest A, 80 is the lowest B, 70 is the lowest C. If you should receive a 69, then technically you have failed on that assignment. My contact information, really the best way to contact me would be through email, marycousins@generalmcclain.org. We've been encouraged to have office hours this year in our new pandemic world. I don't really know what that means, how many office hours, etc. But I know that at least today, I think I will not have meetings scheduled from 11 to noon, Monday to Friday. So my office hours will be during that time. I'll be at my desk. I can answer your emails pretty much in live time. If something becomes too overwhelming, we could arrange a Zoom to communicate further and maybe more quickly and effectively. I need you to understand that just like you get overwhelmed, sometimes I do as well, and I have learned that I need more sleep. So therefore, I am off duty after 10 o'clock at night. If you send me an email, you'll probably get a response the next day, or maybe not even that day, that next day until noon, because school starts at 7:45. I understand that you like to work at night, possibly. During the last March, I got emails at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. from kids. And that might be your best working time, but you also have to respect that I'm not available during those times. So maybe you start your homework after school, get your footing, ask any questions, know what's happening, and then return to it at your night owl times. I have always encouraged each section to create their own group text to discuss course content and ask for clarification from peers. That is not me dodging my responsibility. It is very helpful to ask the other kids in the room, okay, what did she say about this? And I have found that the kids, that's a skill you'll want to take to college. You'll want somebody else in your course, their number, you can text each other for clarification. What happens is a spokesperson usually kind of emerges for the group, and then they function as a liaison, and urgent questions outside of office hours usually get asked that way rather than peppering me. You'll see that the focus for the group works better. If we work this way, that doesn't mean you can't communicate with me. So, what a different world we're in. I know it can be overwhelming, and maybe it's not for you. So I'm not speaking to you at this time, but the rest of you, I would say school is still the same in many ways. Life is still the same in many ways. We're still moms and dads. We're still teachers, and we're still students. And what are we doing? We're aiming to essentially communicate with each other to achieve learning. And we can do that. So I look forward to meeting you. Take care. See you soon.